따끔할게요. 쏠라 에로.
Hello, this is KRBrickBot, and welcome to another Carbot Retired review. The on and off series where I look at the Carbots that Toy Rock won't be likely to be reissuing anytime soon, because there was tied very specifically to limited editions or branding or movie versions. It's August and it's been 2 years since that first 헬로카봇 theatrical movie was released, and so far I've looked at 2 of them, and I've just been putting off this. But since I kind of have nothing else to do, I'm looking at it now. But also another reason why I'm looking at this. So if you happen to be a Bolt Matrix fan, you might have seen some certain set of 4 dinos. And this is an exaggeration, but I bet all 60,000 viewers have absolutely no idea and no care. Those 4 were in a way inspired by the movie Carbots. In particular, that green T-Rex is looking awfully green like this guy. More on that later as I take a look at the pretty good condition box. It is the thickest of the boxes because he is a very thick Stegosaurus, Tego, with a red secondary color. Some CAD schematics in the background with a volcano. Robot mode, beast mode. The lineup of the 4. 2018 May or August. And the bio.
난 태고, 그려 반가워. 사이좋게 지내? 아우 고마해. 쑥스럽게 칭찬은 맨날 듣는 건 지겹구먼. 아우 냅둬 지가 알아서 하겠지. 나 화 안 났어? 진짜요? 이 표창 무지 아픈데 하나 맞을게요, 둘 맞을게요? 이 표창 괜찮은데 변신을 꼭 해야 돼요?
So Tego's a skinny, thick boy. Skinny and thick. Just a tiny torso clumped by giant dinosaur kibble. Big leggy kibble, big kibbly legs, big kibbly shoulders, and a long kibbly back. Covered by these rubber fins and sails. There is some nice texturing, some extra dark green texturing painted in, like kind of bled in, and also that's very realistic skin texture. With those gradient orange fins, and some extra colors of white and red, and a little yellow on the head. And coming right to it, it does have that stegosaur motif with those 2 little plate fins on the side of his head and a big red crest. And his tiny little faceplate is looking kind of beaky, like a dino beak. And some extra triangles in there, so yeah, I guess this kinda looks like a robo-cock. Robo-chicken. Not the robot chicken, a robotic dinosaur chicken. And his accessory slash beast part is this giant bow. With 2 handles. So yeah, it just plugs right in there, so you could just have a long shot. Yeah, you could turn it around for some extra longbow shot. Or take the other handle and I guess you could use that as a melee weapon. Just fold it up to use as a spiked club. I don't think that's official, but yeah, that's an option. Much more versatile than T-Rex' oddly tail-shaped weapon that they had to add an extra part for it to look good. And anyway, that extra shaft is meant for it to be plugged on the back, so to give him some extra wideness. Storage, weapon storage, and wideness. Yeah, that does look even more imposing. And really gives out some extra yellow, but he's not going to be clearing any cave entrances easily. The hands aren't 5mm, but they are just big enough to hold Clog Stopper for the dino plunging. Articulation. Head's on a full swivel. The shoulders on a full swivel. Pretty soft, and inward and outward on hinges. A bicep swivel, but it's in a permanent flexing curl. No extra wrist, because how are you gonna put a wrist swivel in that super thin hand that still has fingers on it somehow? Forward that much. Back that much on those very squeaky ratchets. Knee that much. I bet you can get a little more if you just, fold it out all the way for the transformation, and good thigh swivel and an extra foot joint. Oh, and I mentioned his legs. His legs are somewhat oddly just smushed together. They're, kind of buckle-kneed. Like all the other Dino Carbots and Beast Carbots, he's right there between Leader and Voyager. I'm not sure if this would be a better show accurate scale or this is a better show accurate scale. Transformation. Dino feet. Turn that around, reveal the dino heads. Flip that open, and then close those chest plates. Fold those joints in. Close that in, make sure to turn this thing around. Clamshell it all together. Back leg, click, click. Just bring the legs all down, just do a real curl, and don't forget the yellow feet. Super curly boy boy. What did I just say? Did I just say boy boy for some reason? Oh yeah, all the way in. Silly me. Now for the tail, just fold it up. This weapon bit goes on an angle and click it all together and just slide it in on the bottom. It's a pretty big green Stegosaurus. A kind of white dead-eyed Stegosaurus, but a Stegosaurus nonetheless, with those nostrils and beak. The very skinny head. Oh, and if you notice closely, you know those seams, they're not perfectly symmetrical, so when they transform into robot mode, they're actually kind of folded in slightly asymmetrically. That's a very interesting transformation and detail here. So yeah, those 9 plates on each side on the spine really line up together. Except this big one in the middle, which is broken up between the legs. So that's a very nice pattern and arrangement that comes to the spiked, very short tail. Yep, he has a very snipped tail. Because I guess that crossbow can only be so long because most of the length comes up to his dino rump. Which is pretty clean except for this tiny little gap. That's pretty impressive. Stumpy tail. And the dino articulation. Yeah, he has the same arm articulation. And it kind of looks like you can actually intentionally just give him the splits. Just hover dino. Or yeah, like this. But sort of strange squat Stegosaur. Yeah, he's not a total brick, but he's probably not that useful of articulation. Because no forward and backward. So, I'm looking at this late, kind of in time for the 2-year anniversary of a very quirky but ultimately forgettable 4Kids movie. Other than that, Bolt Matrix is pretty popular vid of those 4 Dino Chariot Deluxes. And if you take a look at this, Yep, this looks awfully rip-offy. That same color layout. The white, red, orange, and yellow. The similar transformation of the legs and the very T-Rex transformation of the upper torso. Except I guess there are a few variations, like a slightly different tweaked designs and details, and a very humanoid face, a stoic humanoid face. But I also bet none of the 60,000 viewers knew that that thing, it has also its own Chinese TV show. It ripped off this, and it has a TV show. It's called Dino Launcher Season 2, aka Dino Trainers.
把最强暴龙收紧。
Because Season 2, where ordinary dinos that are looking like another ripoff of another Korean property. In Season 2, they gained robot modes for whatever reason. And that animation company even imported some of their Chinese toy lines to Korea. So I guess the Dino Launcher or Dino Trainer won't be coming in Korea any soon because the kids and parents are immediately gonna get this connection and just keep calling them ripoffs. They're kind of unique, but at the same time too similar to these that they'll probably just lawsuit them if Dino Launcher ever dared step to the shores of Korea. Also, more blatantly, the Dynamic card. It's just utterly fascinating that 2 years later, just China would do its thing and rip off Korean designs, yet at the same time doing their own thing. Well, at least they got a Brachiosaurus and an Ankylosaurus out of those borrowed engineering techniques. Yeah, but there really isn't any influence from Terrajet, the Fembot Pteranodon, which I might look at soon. So on Tego himself, he's a very interesting Stegosaur transformer, but he's kind of just oddly proportioned. Like, as I said, the tiny torso and the giant kibble. And a giant bow, so it seems like a pretty average Stegosaur transformer. As you might have guessed, this thing sold out a while ago, all 4 of the Dino Carbots. Well, they were show forming for a while, but they eventually cleared out. So good luck importing this now. Though I imagine it's pretty common on the secondary market. And its thick dino skin is more resilient in the toy box than the smooth sides of cars. Though I imagine these things will be warped as wick.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe for some old and new stuff. And until next time, this is KRBrickBot signing off.